The Children's Bible, Daniel 6, Daniel in the Lion's Den. It pleased Darius to set over the kingdom 120 princes, who were to rule the whole kingdom. And over these were 3 presidents, and of them Daniel was the first. The princes were to give account to them, so that the king would have no troubles. Daniel was put over the presidents and princes because of his excellent mind, and the king planned to put him over the whole kingdom. Then the presidents and princes tried to find some fault with Daniel concerning the kingdom, but they could find no fault, because he was faithful and loyal, and there was no error or fault to be found in him. And these men said, "We shall not find any grounds for complaint against Daniel, unless it concerns his worship of his God." So those presidents and princes assembled together before the king, and said to him, "King Darius, live forever. All the presidents of the kingdom, and the governors, and the princes, and the counselors, and the captains, have consulted together about establishing a royal law, by a firm order, that whoever asks anything of any god or man for 30 days, except of you, O king, shall be cast into a den of lions. Now, O king, establish this order and sign the writing, that it may not be changed, according to the law of the Medes and the Persians, which does not change." Then King Darius signed his name to the writing. When Daniel knew that the law was signed and ratified, he went into his house, and its windows being open in his chamber, facing Jerusalem, he kneeled down 3 times a day, and prayed and gave thanks to his God, just as he had done before. Then the men came together and found Daniel praying and entreating God. They hurried to the king and reminded him of his order. "Did you not sign an order that said any man asking a favor of any god or any man within 30 days, except yourself, O king, shall be thrown into the den of lions?" The king answered and said, "That is true, according to the law of the Medes and the Persians, which does not change." Then they answered and said to the king, "That Daniel, who is one of the children of the captivity of Judah, does not respect you, O king, nor the decree which you have signed, but makes his request 3 times a day." When he heard these words, the king was very much displeased with himself, and he set his heart on saving Daniel. He thought until the setting of the sun about how to save Daniel. Then the men came before the king and said to him, "Remember, O king, that it is the law of the Medes and the Persians, that no order or law which the king lays down can be changed." Then the king commanded them to take Daniel and throw him into the den of lions. And the king said to Daniel, "Your God whom you serve so faithfully, surely he will save you." Then the king went to his palace and passed the night in fasting. No musical instruments were brought in to him, and he did not sleep at all. Very early in the morning the king arose and hurried to the den of lions. When he came to the den, he cried out in a sorrowing voice to Daniel and said to him, "O Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God whom you serve so faithfully been able to save you from the lions?" Then Daniel said to the king, "O king, live forever. My God has sent his angel and has shut the lions' mouths, so that they have not hurt me, because I was innocent in his eyes. And I have done no harm to you either, O king." Then the king was exceedingly glad for him, and commanded that Daniel should be brought up out of the den. So Daniel was brought up out of the den, and no wound of any kind was found on him, because he believed in his God. Then the king gave commands, and they brought the men who had accused Daniel, and they cast them into the den of lions, and their children and their wives as well. And the lions broke all their bones into pieces. Then King Darius wrote to all people and nations, and in all the languages of the earth, "Peace be multiplied to you. I now command that in every part of my kingdom men tremble in fear before the God of Daniel, for he is the living God, unchanging forever, and his kingdom shall never be destroyed, and his power shall continue to the end. He rescues and saves, and he works signs and wonders in heaven and on earth. He who has saved Daniel from the power of the lions." So Daniel prospered in the reign of Darius, and in the reign of Cyrus the Persian.